He's back, and he's got a lot to say. Tarek Fatah on In-Depth Radio, Newstalk 1010.
Smile. More. Okay, now smile. Smile.
As you can see, we selected a special group for your article.
So what do you want to be when you grow up?
Doctor, of course.
Lawyer.
Really?
You got a problem with that?
So what do you want to be when you grow up?
Mr. Sally Khan.
Does she know that?
Not yet, but you will soon.
Ah, you must be Sally. So what do you want to be when you grow up?
A terrorist.
Good, smile.
Oh, my God. When I saw a clip of this movie or film, I was startled. I didn't know whether it was comedy, whether it was satire, whether it was an anti-Muslim, one of those movies that is going to make 10 people die as destiny would have it anytime something like this happens. But I'm talking about a documentary, a movie, or whatever you call it, a film called Little Miss Jihad. It was introduced during the Toronto Film Festival, and I have with me in the studios right now the two co-directors of Little Miss Jihad. Welcome to Newstalk 1010, Jessica and Stephanie.
Hi, thanks for having us on the show.
Well, what made two young Canadians of Chinese background, ancestry, do a documentary about, a film about jihad or 9/11 or Sally Khan?
Well, the film really comes from my own memory of where I was when I found out that the planes had hit the towers in 9/11. So as you heard from that scene of the film, the first scene, the kids were in the basement having their pictures taken, and that's exactly where I was at 9/11. And I just remember the principal coming on the air or over the announcement saying a plane had hit the towers. And at that point, I didn't understand what that meant. I thought maybe it was an accident. It wasn't until he came on the second time that another plane had hit the towers that I realized there was something more here. And you have to realize this is a time like when I was younger and I had no idea that terrorism existed. I really didn't know that the world could be like that. So it was very much, it comes from a place of, I guess say first of all that the short film is a satire. So we're very much going to the dark.
We call it a dark satire?
Yes, definitely dark.
It's very dark.
It's pretty dark.
Okay. Well, yes. you were born in Canada.
Yes.
Of parents from...
yeah, my parents are immigrants. They came from China and Hong Kong. I grew up in Scarborough.
Scarborough. But you were born in Taiwan.
Yes, I was born in Taiwan. I came to Canada in 1998. I believe I was 8 or 9 at the time. So
Jessica, you were here when 9/11 happened?
I was here, yes.
Okay. And how did the two of you come together and think of this film, satire, dark satire?
Mm-hmm. Well,
I'm intrigued because I would expect someone of Arab background or Jewish background or someone who's on the right or the left or some dog in this fight.
Right.
Are you the only two Chinese who are, or background people who are involved in this? I've never heard of a Japanese having a point of view or someone from Philippines saying, I'm pissed, man, or something. No. All of a sudden, this great documentary by two Chinese.
Well, I'm very lucky because I grew up in Scarborough, so diversity and multiculturalism was very much the norm for me growing up. To me, as a writer, I don't believe we should limit ourselves to just our experiences. And this is a story we haven't seen in the mainstream. It's we wanted to do stories about characters that weren't necessarily from our background.
So, Jessica, tell us, what is the story?
Well, the story is about a 9-year-old little Afghani descent American girl who grew up in a small American town, and in a desperate search for her father, who
an Afghani girl.
Yes.
Okay.
In the search for her father, she jumps to the conclusion that he must have disappeared during the 9/11 attack because she hasn't seen him all her life.
Where is he?
That's what the film is about.
I just have to come and watch it.
I have to watch it again. Okay, and she thinks Dad died during 9/11?
Well, she comes to the conclusion because there's so much talk about people disappearing 9/11, people dying, that maybe being different, herself is different, and how different people are viewed in her town. Maybe he have been a terrorist. So she declares that she wants to be a terrorist because she doesn't know what it is, hoping that it would lead her to her father.
And it's what, a 9-year-old?
Yes,
9-year-old. And she, the actor, has done an amazing job. She's not even a person of Afghan origin. Her last name's Jen. So was she Chinese as well? She doesn't look Chinese. Where do you get a Chinese who looks like an Arab or an Afghan?
Yeah, we talked to her mother about that a little. Her heritage is very mixed and diverse.
Oh, good.
It just so happens that her last name is Chan.
It's Chan, yeah.
Must be one of the Chinese from India. Not to So, without giving away the plot, go through the steps of how that idea then transferred into a film, and how long did it take? Because you also got it financed through a very unique system. Mm-hmm. Tell us about that.
Sure. Well, I mean, I wrote this film back when I was in York, so a couple of years ago. And
York University.
York University, sorry. We did the film program there. And so this was not too long after, I guess, 9/11. It was still pretty much in our mindsets, but I never had the chance to make it at that time. I mean, it takes a lot of resources to make a film. So we finally...
How much money? Seriously, I'm just curious.
It's quite, well, because we made the decision to try to pay our cast and crew. And as independent filmmakers, that's a really rare thing. Usually you work for your friends and you work for free. So that's why we launched a crowdfunding campaign to do that. But in total, it was a sizable amount. I would equate it to like a 4-year university education is how much I put into the film.
Wow.
Yeah. But we had funding from certain sources. It wasn't completely.
But ordinary people who didn't know you gave you money to do the film.
Actually, it was mostly, even though we crowdfunded, I found it was mostly friends and family, and maybe acquaintance here and there. There wasn't a case where an outright stranger gave to our film.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then it took you 4 years to...
It took us, I just left after we graduated from York. I just didn't go back to that because, it wasn't the right time to do it, and we didn't have the resources. And eventually I got the opportunity to pitch it at the Toronto Real Asian International Film Festival last year, and we won the pitch competition in the emerging category, which was fantastic because it gave us, a start in terms of resources. We got to work with Charles Street Video, who basically gave us a lot of equipment in kind, which is amazing.
Now, Jessica, why is it that I'm reading the entire cast and there is only one fella who is Muslim in this, and he's Rahim Haji, who you have put in as Agent Finch. So you reversed roles over here.
Yes. We wanted to do that. We did that very deliberately because we wanted to dispel some misconceptions. Why cannot, I believe...
a Muslim American be...
Exactly, be an FBI agent. So he actually does play an FBI agent in our film.
Haji means that the fella is particularly religious. He's done his Hajj. So, yeah. So, what are your plans now? And is this, it's premiering at the Art Gallery of Ontario, 1 p.m., the Jackman Hall, and is part of the Toronto Real Asian International Festival. Am I reading it right?
Yes.
The Real. Oh, first I thought it was the Real Asian, as against South Asian, but not to worry. So what do you folks do now?
With the film?
Your next project.
Oh, our next project.
I don't know. We haven't talked about that yet.
My God. Yeah. Oh, you could start off something afresh completely. Why not a little Mr. Jihad? And you cast me in the role.
Could. I think you just gave us another idea.
Thank you very much for coming to Newstalk 1010. Folks, Little Miss Jihad is premiering at the Art Gallery of Ontario, Jackman Hall, 1 p.m. as part... But what's the date? I'm missing the date.
It's this Thursday.
Oh, this Thursday.
Yeah, November 8th.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, Little Jihad, littlemissjihad.com. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, folks, this is amazing talent we have in this country, and it comes up, and it is so good to hear that original ideas find their place and come up and get the support of folks. Let's take a break. The time right now is 3:45.